Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah James and yay, we're working on Cam's project again. Oh, shit. That was like half my water. It always helps to put a lid on. You know, things happen. Water falls, you gotta clean things up. What are you gonna do? Okay, round two. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Sarah James and this is Abundant Possibilities and you are building and hanging with me, Sarah James. So yesterday I made sure that all of the brackets were squared. These are new floating shelves that are going up in Cam's home office and they're all good to go. But the thing that we're working on is going to be patching up all these holes. Yesterday when I left, I went to Home Depot and Home Goods and all these other places. I basically drove for hours trying to find what I was looking for, finding different things that I was needing. I did not find the wood that I wanted to find at Home Depot, which is okay. But the thing is a lot of their wood is wet still. So when you're putting up shelves and you're working with wet wood, once it dries, it's going to shrink a little bit. And I really don't want to deal with that. So I want to get as dry as possible. So I just know what I'm working with. And what I got to patch up the holes was some nice spackling paste. I showed you guys yesterday the things that I was doing as far as patching up. So I have these little pieces that were coming out that I cut out of the wall. So I was using those. I was just cutting them down to patch up the holes that were left. But I decided to try this instead. And I just have my spackling knife and some spackling paste. And I'm gonna go ahead and try to cover all those holes just enough where if I'm using a 2x, these holes are exactly 2 inches and wood is never really 2 inches, it's 1 3/4. So I just wanna make sure that all those little gaps are covered up. So I'm just gonna be putting that on today. I have a hair appointment. I'm gonna get my hair cut later on. So I gotta get going on this project and I've been kind of busy, tied up most of the morning. So that's life, you never know. Sometimes projects don't go on your time frame that you want them to go on. So I'm gonna be turning on the music, putting on some good tunes and patching up as much as possible. I also found a couple cute little stools that I'm gonna be putting in this spot and some drawer slides, because we're going to be extending the desk that I had built a while ago, but I'm going to be doing that, and that's going to be a project later down. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe, and you can check out that project when it comes to be, because that's going to be fun. We're going to put some glass on it and push out his computers a little bit. So right now, I'm just going to push you back a little bit, and we're going to be patching up some holes in the walls. Now, to do this, it says to stir it up quite a bit. I've used this stuff before and I got a big thing because typically it just kind of, if you don't close it up, it dries out, and I didn't know how much I was going to need for this project. So I just got enough. I also got some Loctite glue just in case I wanted to try doing the little patches still. I'm going to try putting the spackling paste in instead. This is my first time doing this method, so bear with me. I'm working out how I want to do it, and for future projects, what's the quickest way and the best looking way to get this done. After I do all this, then I'm going to need to do another touch up on the paint, obviously, because we don't want that for our final product. So I'm going to grab my tools and get to work. Fingers crossed that it doesn't just create more of a mess. When I'm putting this on, it's going in pretty thick. I don't know if I like that because it's going to take a long time to dry. And the thicker this is, the more it takes to set. And on the directions, let's see, it says, for repairs deeper than 1/8 of an inch, apply 2 or more layers, allowing to dry between applications. This is definitely more than 1/8 of an inch. So I'm kind of putting it in there. I'm just kind of like slapping that in there. I need to try a different way, a different technique. I'm really just trying to cover up enough where when I put a 2x on, it covers up the gap in there. And I never know if it's going to show on the top or on the bottom. With this, even though I'm going to be sanding it down a little bit to smooth it out, I kind of like to feather it out a little bit so it's not so like clunk around an area, then you have to sand it down. So once I put this on, I just scrape it and feather it out a little bit as much as possible. It's definitely easier to do with the little patches, the pieces that were cut out of the wall. If you can cut those down, I'm going to cut some of those down and then put them back in there because it's definitely easier to do it that way and just not have so much that I need to patch up. So it's back into the garbage. Another idea that I just had is maybe using painter's tape and just patching that. Let's see. So it seems like using the tape, and I know I was at Home Depot yesterday and I thought about getting some actual drywall tape and I did not, and I really don't want to run back over to Home Depot right now. So I'm going to try the painter's tape. A piece of wood is going to go over this and there's just going to be a little bit of a gap that I'm trying to cover up. So as long as the tape stays on, I'm going to put that on and then patch it and see. And I'll have time. I'm at this project, so I'll have time to adjust if I need to. But I'm going to try this technique. It's cheap, it's inexpensive, it's do what you can with what you have where you are. It's not the best solution, but it is a solution. So let's see if it works. It seems to be working pretty good. You know, this way might be good too in case he ever wants to take the shells down and remove the brackets. That way it's an easy removing of the brackets. So there's a silver lining there in trying something new that may not be the best way, but it's a solution to a problem. Have the tape right there and then I'll patch it up. This is what the patch looks like. So once I sand that down and paint it, you might not even be able to tell. Then you can always take off the tape and easily remove the brackets from the wall. So that's a good solution for that. I need some tunes. Some Gordan Lightfoot to start off the day. Did you alone when you find someday? Bossman, Bossman, turn around. Don't look away at the This is why it's nice to work for yourself. You don't have to worry about a boss man. You are the boss man.
Holes in the pockets and holes in the shoes. If you're ready for me, I'm ready for you. The company plan takes all my pain on a challenge.
Have you ever worked for somebody that you just did not feel good about? I have. It was more of a sexual harassment kind of situation, but yeah, it's never fun having a boss that you just don't vibe with, you know? Oh, Shambala. Ah, ooh, yeah. Shambala. Okay, so those are all taped up. Now it's just a matter of getting on the spackle, seeing how that works. I got a hair appointment later. This isn't going to get painted until after this all dries, so I'll have a chance to see how it holds up if the tape starts pulling away from the wall at all. I'll turn this down a little bit. But I don't need to be in a rush and then get painted over it and then see what kind of issues arise afterwards. I can give it some time, let it dry, see how I like it. If I don't like it, then it's an easy fix to just pull that off, I think, and then do something else. Right now, I don't know where those little pieces are. They're down at the bottom of the garbage, and I'll have to do something else if this doesn't work, but I have a good feeling about this. I feel like it's a good solution to MacGyver this shit and get it up there. Yeah, sometimes on projects you just gotta think outside the box, and what might seem like a weird solution could be the best solution. I feel like somebody out there is gonna give me some shit on this one. Okay. So that definitely seemed like a faster way, to do things than just shoving a bunch of that spackle into the hole or trying to dig through the garbage and find those pieces and cut those all up. Just with some painter's tape. Now it just needs to dry. We need to sand it down a little bit. And then it's ready for the hopefully last coat of paint we put on. We've infused the paint with some money oils because we're calling in some money juju into the space. So look at that last coat on, some good money action going in this room. But right now we are done with this part of the project. Kind of wish I would have known going into it the issues I would have had with just the measurements of the cutout and the bracket versus the wood that I needed, which that's on me. But to plan ahead and think about how you're gonna patch those holes, that's a really important step, so you're not falling too behind on the project. You don't need to let it sit for too long, and you can get on with your life, get on with the other projects that you got going on. This whole project all together, and I talked a lot through it. I filmed what I did. This is day 3 of doing the brackets, putting all these up. But if I didn't talk, if I didn't film, if I didn't do anything, it probably would have taken about 9 hours. I would have maybe split the day up because I like to balance things and get out in nature and ground and do other things. So it'd probably take about a day and a half to do everything. Even shorter. Who knows? It depends on how you work. I work at my own pace. That's the beauty of being me. I get to work at my own pace, and I'm okay with that. So we're gonna let this sit for a while, about 2 hours, and I have my hair appointment in about an hour, so we shall be back tomorrow with the other things on the list, which is gonna be painting. Yay! Painting. And it's my fiance's birthday tomorrow on the 5th, so I'm just gonna put it out there. Happy, 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 happy birthday, baby. You are such an inspiration to me, and I love you, and I am excited to just go on and get married to you. Yeah, because that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get married. So, yay, happy birthday, baby. And thank you for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. If you want to go check out some of my projects, then go to sarahjames.tv. It's on my website, abundantpossibilities.com, and I do all kinds of things because I'm a multi-dimensional being. I like to build. That's one of the things I like to do. So I'm glad you joined me. Thank you so much, and I'll see you guys next time.